Hi, it's Karen, the Weekend Craftaholic, and today I'm sharing a ScrapLift project with you. As you can see here, a bit wobbly on my iPhone, Paige Evans on a Happy Place on Facebook has put together a little bit of a challenge. Now the closing date is Monday, so I wanted to share this today so you've all got time to enter as well and be in with the chance to win some goodies. Now the reason I decided to go for this was because I have lost my scrapbooking mojo. I haven't actually done any scrapbooking since before September, and I also got this Scenic Roots collection by Paige Evans around about that time as well, and I've hardly used it. I've made a couple of cards and a couple of memory decks cards, and that's about it. But you can see here I'm just flicking through all of the papers and looking for a suitable background for this gorgeous little photo of my niece. Now this was taken when I was in the UK a couple of years ago, and I am missing my family back in the UK like crazy, especially my gorgeous little niece. And this picture was taken of her actually working through one of my kits that I took over on holiday with me, and hopefully she'll get the crafting bug as well. Now, Paige Evans does have a video exactly the same as what I'm doing, so I'm not even going to attempt to talk you through how to do this because she can do a much better job than I can. But what I thought I would do is just put this on fast forward. This is on like a 4x speed, and just really talk about the process of scrap lifting at the same time while you watch me put this together. Now, she starts off here with these 2-inch squares, which you saw were on one of the cutter part sheets. They also sell little swatch books as well, the same size. So if you've not got a cutter part sheet, but you've got the swatch books, be a great way of using these as well to get this project made. And let's bear in mind as well, it is a scrap lift, not just a direct copy. So although you could obviously just copy what she's done, I think the idea really is a scrap lift. And to me, a scrap lift more or less means being inspired by that original design, but then putting your own little twist on it. And when I saw this on her Facebook page, I thought, you know, this is exactly what I need. I've not got the mojo, I've not got the creative space in my head right now to put together a scrapbook layout. Even though I've got all the supplies, I've got a ton of photos waiting to be scrapped, I've just not in the right headspace, I'll be honest. So I thought this would be great for me. I've got something to follow, a tutorial. You can't see, but off camera I've got the laptop going as well with Paige's video. Now her video is super quick, it's less than 10 minutes. She says it took about 20 minutes to put the entire layout together. Took me a little bit longer, I would say just shy of an hour to put the layout completely together. But then again, I was just copying from her. And when we get to this point here of actually doing these chevrons, I got super confused. Even, as you can see, I keep turning these little triangles around, figuring out which one goes in which place. I don't know. I honestly don't know why I couldn't get my head around it. So thankfully, Paige's tutorial is really good, really simple and easy to follow. Now, I always love watching Paige's tutorials. I'm sure you've come across her, but if not, you definitely want to watch. She always comes up with something new and unique and creative to do. So, of course, I wanted to use this Scenic Root collection for this. It's not a requirement of the competition, so you can use any papers you've got in your stash. It doesn't have to be a collection from Paige herself, but of course, why wouldn't I when I've got this sat there waiting to use? And these colours are absolutely stunning. I love all of the patterns in here. You can see here I'm trying to fix the little triangles around so my love hearts are in the right place, facing the right way. The flowers are going up and not down or across. So that's where I come to do a little bit of fiddling when I'm putting this layout together as well. Now, in terms of scrapbooking, let's talk about scrap lifting again whilst you carry on watching me do this. It's something that can be quite controversial, can't it? A lot of people don't like it. A lot of people don't like their designs being copied or used. And I honestly feel as though you're giving due credit to where the inspiration came from. I think it's almost a form of flattery. You know, if I created and designed something myself, someone else wanted to use it, I would 100% feel so honoured and delighted that someone thought that my design was so great that they wanted to use it themselves. Then I would not have a problem. I think a lot of the problems come when people try and claim it for their own, as their own idea or their own design. So always give due credit when you can, especially if you're sharing your photos on social media, online, that kind of thing. Obviously, if it's just going to sit in your family album for your family to admire, it's no big deal. You know, they don't necessarily need to know where this came from and all the credit. So I normally write stuff on the back of my layouts. If that happens, I'll write down, for example, I'll write when I finished on the back of this that it was from Paige Evan's Facebook competition. And I always write down what collection I've used, the date I did it, and any particular notes as well. I'm not a big journaler when it comes to my scrapbook layouts. I've tried using typed words, I've tried writing it, and it just doesn't work for me. So I like to put all of my little quotes on the back. So I'll put a little note about the photograph, when I was on holiday in the UK and we were scrapbooking together, and how much fun it was. So that's where I'm going to keep all of my memories rather than on the layouts. And that's one of the ways that my layout differs from Paige's, because she obviously puts her journaling on there as well. Now, I did start at the bottom of these chevrons using these foam dots, as you can see, and because I wasn't too sure about my placements, it was quite difficult. So I ended up putting the top layer on with liquid glue, because that allowed me a little bit of wiggle room, and I could squeeze these around and put them in the right placement that I wanted to do. So I ended up doing the bottom row with foam and a little bit of dimension, and then the top parts of it just completely flat with that liquid glue. So again, that was a little bit of a change. You'll also see when I come to add the sentiments, I've done it slightly different than Paige has as well. And also, she does at this point, I think, do the splattering with the white paint, the white acrylic wash down paint. And I completely forget about that, but I do decide at the end to add that on. So you'll see me do that later as well. So if you're not a scrapbooker, you're on my channel and you're wondering what it's all about, this scrapbook thing, it's just another way of, for me, it's like therapy. I love that creative process, but as I say, I've lost my mojo in recent times. So I really enjoyed having the opportunity to get back in and do this with this particular layout as well. If you're a card maker, I feel like the two hobbies go hand in hand, the two crafts, because you're basically just using a bigger space, a bigger area, but you're creating something to keep yourself. And of course, your photographs and memories are something that we should all cherish. And I think these are going to be great to hand down for generations to come. Hopefully, my family won't get rid of them when I'm no longer on this earth. But yes, I think these are great to look back on. Even I've been scrapbooking for about 20 years. And when I look back on some of the old ones, you certainly see the fashions and the styles change over time. But the photographs are really what make it, aren't they? They really do make the difference. You can see with my photograph, I've just backed it there. I wanted to bring a little bit more of that white in, which was at the part of the top chevron, because it is quite a colourful, maybe a bit too colourful layer. I don't know, it depends on your own taste and style. But I really love this background paper with this almost very faint mosaic mandala look at the back. So definitely wanted to bring some more colourfulness out in this layout, as I always do when I'm using Paige's collections. My niece is called Keela, so that's why I've used the thickers at the bottom just to put her name down. And then this little sheet as well as part of the collection just has lots of phrases as well. So I'm putting some of those in the chevron spaces, but you'll also see me put them completely horizontal as well, which again is something different from the original inspiration, but something that I thought would work quite well, that I wanted to bring across in this particular layout. So scraplifting, as I said, it's controversial. Do you do it? Do you like it? Do you not? Leave some comments down below. Let me know what you think. I always feel a bit nervous when I'm scraplifting and put things online, usually Instagram, but I always make sure that I tag the original artist in, or give due credit and hashtag them, or tag them whichever way you want to do that. And I think it's just a great way of recognizing and thanking them for the help that they've given you in creating a layout that you're going to love and enjoy yourself. And certainly with designs and layouts that I really love, that I've enjoyed doing, some of these, for example, I did contemplate putting stitches on this, but I was so super lazy. My machine had black thread and I honestly couldn't be bothered changing it to white. That's how lazy I was. So yeah, but when I put a lot of time and effort into it with stitching and so on, it's always worthwhile. I keep a little photograph as well, and I've got a little book with all my favourite layouts in. Same with my card designs, because I'm giving those away. I'll take a picture of my design to keep, and then whenever I'm stuck again in the future, not quite sure what I want to do, I flip through my little book and then I've got an idea of some layouts that I want to use. I guess in the same vein, I do the same with Pinterest. I've got loads of boards on my Pinterest account, so if you didn't know I had Pinterest and you're interested in that, check out weekendcraftaholic on Pinterest. You'll see I've got lots of different boards for card making, Copic colouring, scrapbooking, all different things. My stuff is under the Weekend Craftaholic board, and guilty of not always tagging myself, which is shameful, isn't it? But yes, a lot of my favourite things I do tag in there as well, and it is all craft related as well. There is some essential oil stuff on there, as well as some crystals, because they're my other passion. But in the main, that's where I go to whenever I buy a new lawn fawn stamp, for example. If I remember, I straight away search on Pinterest, and then any designs I like the look of, I keep within that particular category on my lawn fawn board. And finally, the other thing that I do, if I see any inspiration on Instagram, I just click the little bookmark tag, and that saves them all in bookmarks as well. So there are just a few ideas for you if you're in need of inspiration and you want to scrap lift in future. I hope you find that useful. I hope you enjoy my end layout, and I hope you join the challenge as well. And I look forward to seeing it if you do post it on Facebook. Thanks for watching.